Today, I have some groundbreaking news relating to Quant Network and how it's working with one of the world's most developed countries for a CBDC implementation. Now, what does this all mean for you and the price of the QNT token? Well, suffice to say, it's likely to push the expected price per token well above any previous maximum price prediction for 2025 that I may have had. And today, we're going to talk about just that. But before we get into my adjusted price for 2025, I feel like this is a perfect time to inform you on the gravity of the situation. The Bank of International Settlements, or just simply BIS for short, is an international financial institution that serves as a central bank essentially for central banks. Now, you can imagine the BIS as an intermediary between countries that facilitates cooperation, many economic-related matters like research, policy issues, and of course, gold and forex transactions. Now, in June of last year, the BIS launched Project Rosalind, an experiment on how APIs could be used to connect a central bank's ledger to the private sector, enabling the use of retail CBDCs. And for those who are unaware, there are more than one type of just CBDC. The most popular being wholesale and retail CBDCs used at different levels of the economy. Wholesale CBDCs are larger, less frequent transfers of value, typically between countries and financial institutions, while retail CBDCs are strictly used by the private sector, or in other words, just simply you and me in the economy for everyday transactions and transfers. Project Rosalind is currently being led by the BIS's London office, which has actually been experimenting within the UK on how this model will need to be both system and also application agnostic, meaning the chosen API solution will need to connect to new and of course existing systems. Now, this is kind of where it all relates to Quant. Project Rosalind is working with the Bank of England to develop prototypes for this exact model. That is, of course, the central bank maintaining the ledger of the retail CBD system for all private sector activities. Now, Quant is already a powerhouse in the United Kingdom, and I think all Quant nerds know that, so there was no surprise when Gilbert Verderin, Quant's CEO and founder, appeared on a recent private panel with the Bank of England's Director of FinTech, Tom Mutton. Now, we don't have any video or audio of this event other than what Quant has already released thus far, but Quant mentioned that Tom has stated that Quant played an important role in Project Rosalind, and a report will be released very shortly. Now, all of this sounds very much like it's, of course, perfect for Quant, and, of course, was always its intended use case. Quant has been designed to be interoperable with any system, old or new, of course, via APIs, and, of course, there is a clear collaboration here. Now, just take what Gilbert responded to a comment made back in March of 2020 from a community member asking if the public would ever find out about a central bank collaboration. And his answer is crazy accurate to, well, what's unfolded here, a very bullish thing indeed. Now, I'm sure this report will conclude a successful result, as the recent panel between Gilbert and Tom kind of does insinuate, and could therefore lead to further tests in countries that are tied to the Bank of International Settlements. But either way, guys, an implementation just within the United Kingdom would mean Quant would be processing billions of transactions every single year, all being absorbed, of course, by the QNT token, as an entire economy will just simply be leveraging it. Take into consideration how little the supply of QNT is, of course, being only 14.88 million tokens, and then you can kind of safely assume there's going to be a huge supply shock. If a successful implementation were officially announced, you'd have more than just a connection between two financial sectors. I believe you'd actually find many businesses deciding to build a map or multi-chain application, which is Quant's kind of smart contract interoperability solution atop the Overledger, to connect seamlessly with the UK's economy, and of course the endless number of public and private blockchains, legacy systems, and all other types of digital networks. Now, for those who don't know much about Quant, don't worry. It's pretty much a business model that works largely off the back of APIs and is completely system agnostic, to the point it can pretty much be connected to just about anything. Now, I'll link you to a full video breakdown of Quant's network, which happens to be the only one you'll find on YouTube, at the end of this video. So with that out the way, where do I think the price will head now? Well, of course, guys, this all hinges on the confirmation of this news, which at this stage, we can kind of make an assumption that it will happen. And there, of course, is definitely still the case that it doesn't amount to anything, which is why you kind of have to be very careful speculating and buying before we even know for sure. Now, I'm going to push my goalposts up quite a few notches here to a minimum of around a $30 billion market cap, which means the price could move to about $2,000. Now, on the maximum side of things, I could see the market cap going to about $150 billion, putting the price per token at almost a very neat $10,000. Now, this is all with respect to all of the tokens being in circulation. Now, in my opinion, these predicted prices will definitely be dwarfed if the BIS decides to push the overledger to other countries. And that's not even considering, of course, the plethora of additional demand from independent institutions wanting to build on or connect to Quant. The only thing is, however, we do need to keep an eye on the UK's expected release of their CBDC. There's just simply no use preparing for a supply shock from token demand when the network isn't being used by the economy just yet, even if it is confirmed. Now, apparently, the Bank of England is bound to make a decision on their CBDC by 2025, which means we might not see an implementation until the end of this decade. But either way, guys, Quant's future is definitely looking extremely prosperous, which is why I'll continue to cover them on my channel. That's pretty much going to do it for today, guys. I look forward to hearing all your thoughts on this important news down below. And until next time, all,